money is anything generally accepted as a medium of exchange. The evolution of money, for which man uses in his everyday life, spanned over centuries. The era of no exchange existed. Every man to himself. Man produced all he needed as much as he could, picking up fruits, hunting for wildlife. No need for exchange. His needs were met, and man was content. The culture of man living in band with no single medium of exchange evolved into a direct exchange lifestyle. The swapping for exact goods and services with each other. This was the barter system. The problem of the barter system was the double coincidence of wants. Again, the problem of common unit of account. At the Central Bank of Nigeria, there is a museum with over 2,000 artifacts. It is open to the public on weekdays.
The objective of setting up the currency museum in Central Bank is to afford the general public an opportunity to have a full knowledge of the history and development of money and the evolution of money in Nigeria. It is intended to allow the general public have a feel by physically looking at what is available in the museum to look at the various phases of development that we have had in the evolution of money.
With barter system and experience, people learned to exchange with commodities easily acceptable by others. The era of indirect exchange began. Stella Ghana is of the Currency Operations Department of the CBN.
Instruments used for trade and barter includes cowrie, manila, grains, livestock, and so on. And in this currency museum, we have such instruments on display.
Beaded objects and ornaments were of value and served as medium of exchange in some cultures. Beads, for example, from Bida, used for exchange. 5 feathers exchanged for a chicken or a penny. Till date, beads and feathers in our Nigerian dress attires still depict wealth and royalty.
Commodity money, the next stage we moved to was the metal money era. When you talk about metal money, you're talking about manila, horse blade, you're talking about ankle. These are different forms, different shapes of
Goldsmiths issued these receipt notes without names and in various denominations. That sparked the evolution of paper as a medium of exchange and the system of banking. Tang Dynasty in China during the 7th century issued the first paper note, the fly currency, used for paying local merchants.
and the paper was so light that when it could be easily blown away, so it did not really stand the test of time.
Commercial banks began to issue their own paper banknotes and coins until mid-19th century. The issuance of paper notes and coins were eventually taken over by governments and apex banks to ensure uniformity. Initially, the paper notes used were fully backed up by gold. The paper notes circulated as full-bodied, meaning the face value of a paper note was equal to an intrinsic value of the gold deposit as a commodity. Monetary economists, led by Milton Friedman, opposed the gold standard of currency. They said that the limited amount of gold will stall the amount of currency in the system, which would lead to inflation. This can only be checked if gold is continuously mined. Truly, with time, it became impossible to meet the supply of gold for exchange purposes. Paper notes was now partly backed by gold and partly backed by nothing. The proportion issued without gold backing was by fiat. The proportion served as a medium of exchange because of government backing. There were more currencies in circulation than gold quantities. Eventually, currencies in circulation were purely issued as token money, meaning the face value now had greater value than the intrinsic value as a commodity. In this museum, there is a display of currencies across the world. Nigeria evolved in the application of paper note currencies under colonial rule.
So from the coin era, we now went to the paper money era. That's as the volume of trade increased, moving metal monies around became a burden. This led to the introduction of first the promissory notes,
was giving the right to issue banknotes and coins in Nigeria. The currency was backed by the 1844 Charter. In 1979, lower denominations of 1 naira, 5 naira and 10 naira were reissued, each bearing portraits of Nigeria's fallen nationalists. In 1984, a color swap of the currency was carried out to reduce the illegal trafficking of the 1979 currencies. In 1991, a higher denomination of 50 naira was introduced, portraying national unity, while the 1 naira and 50 kobo were minted to coins. In 1999, the 100 naira note was introduced in response to economic activities and to enhance payments system. In 2000, then came the 200 naira note. In 2005, the 500 naira note was introduced. And again, the 1000 was introduced, bearing the portrait of the first and second indigenous CBN governors, Aliume Borno and Clement Ison.
NSPMC is the only company that is authorized to produce our banknotes for us. So our production is done with the Nigerian Security and Printing Minting Company in Lagos or Abuja. And after it is produced, it is stored in our vault. Then we now distribute either by air or by land to our central bank branches. From there, it is now circulated to the deposit money banks.
Here is the template design for the 1000 naira note. These are the materials for the production of paper notes. Comber, a byproduct of cotton production, is the main ingredient in making paper note, the numbering barrel for unique serial numbers on paper and polymer notes. Paper and polymer notes are minted with security features.
The basic security features that we encourage everybody to be aware of are the watermark, security trade, and a unique serial number. That determines the uniqueness of our banknotes.
Paper and polymer notes have a life cycle from design, production, storage, distribution, processing, and disposal when unfit.
The clean note policy is intended to guarantee that whatever we give out to the public is of quality and standard, and then to ensure that all unfit notes include dirty notes, fake notes, or counterfeit notes. All those ones are not allowed to go into circulation, and that is the essence. And from time to time, we do monitoring of banks to ensure that what they put, particularly in their ATMs, are good notes. And if we find them wanting, we have penalties for non-compliance.
Sooner or later, those banknotes come back to Central Bank of Nigeria as deposit from the commercial banks. And when they come in, we will now process it into fit and unfit using our machines, using our high-speed machines to process it. Then the fit is now sent back to circulation, whereby to the public for use, whereby the unfit is disposed of. That's unfit. And how do we dispose of them? We shred and we briquette them. And also, in line with sustainability practice, we're looking into turning our unfit banknotes into recycling them into plumbing materials, beam and roofing tiles. This is a sample of our unfit bank notes. It was turned into a table and chair, which the bank intends to give out as social corporate responsibility to schools.
In 2007, the 2 naira was minted into coin and 20 naira was issued into polymer in 2009. Other denominations of 5 naira, 10 naira and 50 naira were issued in polymer. In 2009, 50 naira commemorative note was introduced to mark CBN at 50 years. In 2014, the 100 naira commemorative notes was issued to celebrate 100 years of Nigeria's existence after the amalgamation of Northern and Southern Protectorates in 1914. The 100 naira currency note has a quick response code. When scanned with an internet-enabled device, reveals more information about Nigeria.
What constitutes improper handling of the banknotes? These are squeezing, soiling, spraying. Spraying is an offense. We should take note of it. Spraying is an offense. It's a punishable offense. And also, how should you handle your banknotes? Handle it, put it, use a pouch or a wallet. And if you must give out banknotes, if you must give out money, put it in an envelope.
The emergence of bank credit as medium of exchange developed alongside paper notes. Bank credits are used to create more bank credits as people and banks continue to transact daily. There is a magnetic ink character recognition machine in the museum used for processing and sorting checks. The checks perform the same function as medium of exchange when backed up by the bank demand deposits of the check drawer. When the check is dulled, the check as a medium of exchange becomes unacceptable. Today, there are plastic cards, software applications and many other instruments succeeding as medium of exchange. Using financial technology, people settle obligations with plastic cards and other devices. Presently, exchange could be done without paper notes or coins being seen or touched. Digits are credited and debited with the touch of buttons, and exchange is completed.
And then we also look at new areas of development in the world and see what is coming up though it's a national program where because the trend now is, apart from the paper notes that you have, you may soon see the emergence of central bank digital currencies that will be issued. They will be in the form of token, virtual token that has the power of fiat money that is monitored by a monetary authority. And this is distinct from the cryptocurrency, where you have no one regulating it, because it's a kind of distributed ledger you have for crypto. But here you have an authority that is issuing the digital currency. But we have not gotten there yet, but we are still making some choices and researches on how best to deploy it, because all countries of the world are trying to do the same thing.
The use of cash currency for exchange is slowing down. The society is becoming cashless, but not moneyless. Whatever serves as money must be acceptable, portable, durable, divisible, scarce, and homogeneous. Today's money serves as a medium of exchange, unit of account, deferred payment, and store of value. From commodity to metal to coin to paper to credit and to plastic money, these were achieved using culture, fiat, fiduciary, banking, and technology.